Myself, Mr. H.T. Mate, Department of Botany, RBNB College, Srirampur. Today, we are going to study FYBSc Botany, and from this semester 2nd, paper 1st, BO 121. Name of the paper, Plant Life and Utilization 2nd. And from this, the topic Gymnosperms. And here we are going to study the life cycle of the cycas, and from this point we are going to study the sexual reproduction. Now this is for today's lecture, the female part is there. So the female reproductive organ which is developed on the female plant only, because the cycas plant is a dioecious. That means the male plant and female plants are completely different from each other, so it is called as the dioecious. So this is the female plant and this is the male plant, both are completely different. The plants are dioecious here. Now the female reproductive structure is called as the megasporophyll. So these are the megasporophyll, this is also the megasporophyll. Now each year very large number of the megasporophylls are developed at the apical region of the main stem. Here main stem is unbranched. So this is the main stem, and above this main stem very large number of the female reproductive structures which is called as the megasporophylls are developed. Now the growth of this female plant is monopodial, because here there is the meristematic region and this meristematic region continuously grows. And here in this male plant it is a sympodial, while in male plant the growth of this stem is a monopodial. Now we are going to see the structure of the megasporophyll. Now at the time of reproduction, this meristematic tissue, instead of development of the leaves, that is the vegetative part, it develops the reproductive structure, and as this is the female plant, it develops the female reproductive structure which is called as the megasporophyll. Now the length of this female reproductive structure, that is the megasporophyll, is ranges in between 10 to 25 centimeter. And this is the detailed structure. This is the detailed structure of the female reproductive structure, that is the female, that is the megasporophyll. Now there are different types of the examples. Number 1, that is the Cycas revoluta. Second, that is the Cycas sarcinalis. Number 3, Cycas rumphi is there, and fourth, that is the Cycas bedomi is there. Now the structure in detail. Now the megasporophyll is divided into the 3 parts. At the base there is a stalk, and above this is the stalk. Above this there is the fertile region, and in the fertile region the ovules are developed. Now they are developed toward the lateral side from both the side, and the number of this ovule is different in the different example. Now above this there is the sterile region which is the lip-like, and here in this Cycas revoluta the sterile region is a pinnate, and others are, that is Cycas sarcinalis, Cycas rumphi and Cycas bedomi. The outline of this sterile region is a serrate, and the shape of this serrate region, that is sterile region, is a lanceolate, and here it is a lip-like in origin. So these are the different examples of the megasporophyll, that is of the female reproductive structure. Now here there is the ovule, and we are going to see the next point, that is the ovule, LS of the ovule, and this is unitegmic. Ovule are unitegmic, that means there is only a single layer. Now this is the details of the LS of the ovule. Now it has 2 layers, 2 parts. The upper part is called as the it's called as the micropyle, and lower part is called as the chalazial end. This is the micropylar end and this is the chalazial end. That means accurately here, this is the micropylar end and this is the chalazial end. Now this chalazial end is attached to the stalk. That means here below there is the stalk. So this is the chalazial end. Now there is a layer which is called as the unitegmic layer, but this layer is divided into the 3 parts. Now these are the 3 layers. The outermost layer is a fleshy layer. Now it is a thick and fleshy. Inside this there is another layer which is very hard. It's called as the stony layer, and again inside this there is the another layer which is the thick and fleshy again. Now the outermost layer is called as the, which is the thick and fleshy, is called as the sarcotesta also. Now the middle layer, stony layer, it is also called as the sclerotesta. So the outermost layer, sarcotesta, middle layer is called as the sclerotesta, and inside this there is the fleshy layer. Now toward the micropylar end, Now just below the micropyle, in the micropyle there is a small slit for the entry of the pollen grain at the time of reproduction. So this is the slit, this is the path for the entry of the microspore pollen grains at the time of reproduction. Now just below the micropyle, in the nucellus region, there is the pollen chamber. So here there is the pollen chamber. When this pollen grain get attached here, they falls here in this pollen chamber. Now below this, there is the archegonial chamber. So this is the archegonial chamber, and at the center there are the archegonia. Now inside this three outer layer, there is a nutritive layer, and that layer is called as the nucellus. It is called as the nucellus. Now at the lower side, there is the vascular supply, which comes from the stalk of this megasporophyll. That means from the chalazial end. Now there is the vascular supply. It is getting divided into the three parts. The outermost part, that means this part is enters into the outer thick fleshy layer. That means food material is get supplied to this outer thick fleshy layer. Now there is another strand of the vascular strand, and here it enters into the inner layer. Again there is the fleshy layer, and at the center there is a entry of this vascular supply directly into the nucellus, and inside this there is the sporogenous tissue, and from this sporogenous tissue, for this sporogenous tissue, the food material is get supplied from this central strand, central vascular strand into the nucellus, and from nucellus there enters into the developing sporogenous tissue. So this is the internal details of the LS of the ovule.